Please welcome the Chief Data Analyst for NBC News, Steve Kornacki.
Thank you. All right, thank you, everybody. Appreciate everybody being here. And I should probably start by pleading guilty. You hear those voices saying we're looking for places where we actually do have common ground, areas of agreement. And too often what I do, I think in my day-to-day life, it's about elections. I'm covering elections that are often 50-50 elections. And to prepare for those elections, I'm at this board on the air, going over polling and looking for those points of division, the points of division that are going to answer the question about who might win, who might lose the election. And so this was actually kind of a refreshing exercise for me. It was to take a look at the same data, the same polling data that I am using all the time, and to apply a different lens and to look at that same data and say, where are the points of connection? Are there points of agreement? Are there points of consensus? And I think, to my surprise, the answer wasn't just yes. The answer was it is in more places than I probably would have expected. It's in mundane places. It's in everyday places. It's in political places. It's even in existential places. And so what I'm going to do here for the next few minutes, if you will, come along with me. We're going to take a little bit of a journey. It's going to be a tour of unity from a data standpoint. And so we'll start maybe big picture on this, sort of at a foundational level, a values level. This is some polling that's out there, and we're looking for statements that 80% or more of Americans say they agree with, that resonate with them. And again, honesty is the best policy. You might expect that one to have consensus, but then again, in this day and age, you might expect that nothing has consensus. We do broadly agree. Honesty is the best policy. Two wrongs don't make a right. The U.S. is stronger because it has people from different races, religions, and cultures, and political leaders should compromise with the other party to get things done. So again, zoom out, and what do we have? We have sort of a common moral, ethical architecture for how we kind of look at the world and approach thinking about the world. I said existential, literally existential common ground. Nearly 9 out of 10 folks believe that we've got a soul. More than 8 out of 10 believe in God. 79% believe in something spiritual beyond the natural world. 7 out of 10 believe that there is an afterlife. So at an existential level, we certainly find unity. We'll start to get to the political realm right here. Where's the unity in this, right? This is what we're used to. This is what I'm used to. Ask about Barack Obama. The Democrats love him. The Republicans have a very different opinion. Ask about Donald Trump. The Democrats do not like him. The Republicans have a very different opinion. Where is their unity? Where is their consensus when it comes to presidents? It's in our history. It's in our history. For instance, if you ask about Abraham Lincoln, each party broadly, overwhelmingly agrees there's consensus about Abraham Lincoln. There's consensus about many other presidents from our history. So we do have common ground in our history and how we got to here. Then there is the political realm, and we're going to go through that right now. And we're going to go through it with a series of statements that I think if you look at these statements, some of them you're going to say, that's something a Democrat would say. Some of them you're going to say, that's something a Republican would say. But strip the party labels off of it, because when you just read these statements to people, you find broad consensus. We're talking 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5, more Americans, Democrats, Republicans. These are things in the political realm that they agree on when you take the party labels off of it. For instance, more than 8 out of 10, they like term limits, okay, 81%. 79%, they don't want to see cuts to Social Security. No reductions in benefits, they say. 87% on the fraught topic of immigration, deportations of those who are here illegally and who have criminal records. That's Democrats, that's Republicans, that's independents. 87% on that one. How about 82%? Paid family and medical leave, federal paid family medical leave. Again, Republicans are there, Democrats are there. That is consensus. 80% requiring ID from voters at polling places. Again, broad consensus here. 84% tax-free savings for home down payments. Broad consensus between the parties. 79% believe that biological men should not be competing in women's sports. How about 84% more funding for trade schools, for vocational training? 86% say they want background checks for gun sales, for firearms purchases. And then the biggest number we could find here in the political realm, how about legislation that affects Telemarketer, restrictions on telemarketing. I thought this one would be higher, actually, but it clocks in at 80. Some of us are related to telemarketers, I bet, so there is that. How about America in the world, how we think about the world, how we think about who our friends are, how we think about countries that maybe we have some issues with. Also, the government. I'm sorry, I forgot. The government itself, not entirely unpopular. The National Park Service, the National Weather Service, the Postal Service. And how about this? This is before Artemis. NASA was at 67%. I'd like to see what that number is the next time they poll this, but already it was very popular there, 2 out of 3. Now I set up the other countries, how the country thinks about them. Japan, Italy, Canada, Denmark, broad agreement in this country. These are our friends in the world. North Korea, Iran, Russia, broad agreement that we've got some issues with those countries. So again, you take the party labels off, you look at the world, you do see more consensus. And then I said the mundane, the everyday. That doesn't mean the unimportant, because how we connect to other people, how we interact with people in the world, that is important. That's the essential part of being humans, right? So where can we find some agreement there? How about this? 2 out of 3 say that coleslaw is a salad. I might be in the 1/3 on that one, but 2 out of 3 say that. How about this? 73% say a hamburger's a sandwich. And then we scoured far, we scoured wide. Where could we find in polling the single biggest area of agreement among all Americans? All right? I want you to think about when you wake up in the morning, you have a bowl of cereal, okay? When do you put the milk in the cereal? All right? 93%. They put the cereal first, then they put the milk. We could not find more common ground than this. So you got that. Thank you very much.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.